Welcome to Plaid Lattes. In today's video, we are going to make a fancy, easy, make-ahead, French-inspired breakfast. If that's something you want to see, then do not adjust your screen. Our breakfast will consist of a creme brulee and French Madeleine, and then whatever seasonal fruit you have. We also have a great idea for how to make simple lattes, with your French press, and hope you enjoy. So for the creme brulee, I will link the recipe down below. You want a third cup of cream for each egg that you're going to use, therefore each serving. So for ours, it would be 3/3 or a cup, and then 1.5 tablespoons of sugar. The recipe says to put vanilla paste in. I make vanilla sugar. I find it just a far better thing to have on hand. You can put it in anything. You literally just take vanilla bean pods, put it in sugar, leave it, it flavors it, and you can do that over and over. So you're going to whisk up your egg yolks and sugar till it's nice and thick. And then once your cream is hot, you're going to very slowly add it in. I love using magic whisk. I find it just works better than other whisks. And as you can see, I'm of course measuring it into a giant measuring cup because it's just so much easier to pour into your ramekins. This is the easiest, most scale up, scale down recipe of creme brulee I have ever seen. The person who came up with it is a genius, because you can make it for as many or as few people as you want to. And then you simply pour it into your ramekins. Try to do it as equally as possible. And then once it's poured in there, you will set them in a bain-marie, which is warm water in a rimmed pan. And then bake at 300 for 40 minutes. Afterwards, you're going to pull them out, let them cool, cover them with saran wrap, pop them in the fridge till the morning. For the Madeleines, which we are making a lemon Madeleine, I will of course link the original recipe below, but I'm also going to write my recipe, because the first time I made this, I made a few mistakes, and it ended up working out really well. So in your saucepan, you are going to melt a 1/3 cup butter, because I am halving the original recipe, 1 tablespoon of brown sugar, 2 tablespoons of white sugar, a tablespoon of honey, and then I like to put my lemon zest in with the butter while it melts. And you're going to melt it, let it cool a little bit, and you're going to mix in your eggs. This is another time I like to use the magic whisk. And you mix in your 2 eggs. Once it is all mixed together, you are going to pour it into a 1/2 cup of flour and a 1/4 teaspoon baking powder and a pinch of salt. Do not forget your trusty spatula, as you don't want to leave any of the goodness of this behind. Then you'll mix it all together. So I do actually find it really useful to mix this in with the magic whisk, just because there is a lot of liquid. So you don't have to worry about it getting stuck too much in the whisk prongs. And it's not a problem to add some extra air to this, because the whole point is Madeleines are supposed to be lovely and fluffy. Make sure you use your spatula to scrape down the sides. Mix it all up. And then this can get covered with saran wrap and popped in the fridge till tomorrow morning. The Madeleine pan. So the recipe I use is Laura Calder from French Food at Home. And she says to butter your pan and stick it in the freezer. Now hers she's making and baking right away, which you can do perfectly fine with this recipe. But I do find that if you do put it in the fridge, you get more of your lovely peaks that you want for Madeleines. So I'm going to finish this up, tuck it away for the evening, and in the morning we will get back together to bake this up. So in the morning you are going to set your oven to 350, and then I think this is about a tablespoon scoop, and scoop them right into your molds. It's okay that they don't actually fill out the molds right now because they will fill them in perfectly while they bake. So like I said, your oven to 350, and then after you've scooped all of your lovely lemon madeleines out, you can pop them in the oven for about 12 minutes. So for a French press latte, if you have a larger French press, then feel free to use that. I happen to have a tiny one. And you're going to put about 2 scoops of espresso powder in. The whole point is you don't want to make it very strong, especially if you're doing this for 1 to 2 people. If you're doing it for more, then of course make more espresso. Once you've measured out your espresso, you'll pour your hot water, hopefully more in your French press than on it. So since this is a small one, I'm going most of the way up. This is technically a tea press. But for a French press, you want to do probably about a half a cup of water, because you don't want it to be too strong. And that's for if you're doing for 2. Set that on for 5 minutes, which gives you plenty of time to measure and nuke your milk. So once you've heated your milk, if you don't have a milk frother, you can just pour it in glasses and top it with whipped cream. If you do, you're just going to give it a nice froth up as your espresso finishes espressoing. Alright, so once you have pressed your coffee down, I put just a simple sugar cube in each. I'm going to pour like it's a nice double shot of espresso. At this point, your Madeleines are out, and all that's left is to brulee your creme brulee. And you're just going to top it with your milk. Once your Madeleines come out, just gently remove them from the pan, and you have your lovely puff to them and the detail from the pan. Place them all pretty on a plate. So of course, if you don't have a torch, you can stick these under the broilers for a few moments to brulee. Just make sure you watch them very closely. Put your little bit of sugar on top. And torch the bad boys up. Now right now it only looks mildly bruleed. That is because the secret, apparently, to the great creme brulee crack is to double brulee. Found that out watching a channel called Chalky. I will try and find and link the video below. So yeah, you do a mild first layer brulee, then you come back in and brulee again for that perfect color and that wonderful satisfying crack. So now with the double brulee, you have the toasty, wonderful color, and you will get that really nice crack when you pop your spoon in there for the first time. There you have a lovely, easy, gluten-free, French-inspired breakfast. You can make this for brunch, for a romantic breakfast, or if you're just having a really cruddy couple of days, it's easy to scale up or down, and then it's something to look forward to in the morning. Till next time, stay cozy, stay caffeinated.